As you all know, Friday afternoon, we were involved in an incident where we received a call off of Grosenbacher Road at 12010 Old Onyx. Old, common spelling, Onyx, O-N-Y-X, for a report of shots fired. The victim in this case, the reporting person in this case, I should say, called in shots fired, that she was not sure if somebody was shooting at her home, but regardless, asked deputies to come check it out. When deputies arrived, they saw a gray vehicle that may have been involved. That gray vehicle fled from them at a high rate of speed. They engaged in a pursuit. That pursuit lasted several minutes and ended at Ingram Park Mall, where two suspects fled from that vehicle, both fleeing into the mall. One of them was caught soon thereafter in a store. The other one, in fact, was never caught to that point. We were able to identify, obviously the one that was caught was identified as a 14-year-old boy. He was found unarmed at the time of his arrest. However, there was a weapon found inside the car, which was a reported stolen car. The other suspect fled through, we know now, actually ran through the mall and ran to another establishment where we were able to pull up video. We were able to get that person identified as also a 14-year-old male. We were able to, thanks to video surveillance provided by the other location, we were able to determine that 14-year-old male made a phone call to a relative, a 48-year-old male relative, who then came to the location with a change of clothes. That 14-year-old is seen in that video waiting very calmly inside that other establishment and waiting for his 48-year-old relative to come and help him in his escape. That 48-year-old relative then came to the location, gave the 14-year-old suspect a change of clothes, and then took him from that location, thereby facilitating his escape from authorities who were actively looking. We have since identified not only that 14-year-old male suspect, who were not able to release his identity because he's 14 years of age, but the 48-year-old male accomplice is a gentleman by the name of Mike Fuentes. Now, earlier this afternoon, we did place Mike Fuentes, the 48-year-old, under arrest for aiding that escape, for hindering the apprehension of the 14-year-old. He was placed under arrest, and a search warrant was executed at 136 Exeter Place, E-X-E-T-E-R, Exeter Place. It's over near that same area off Grosenbacher. Now, it is believed that Mike Fuentes and this 14-year-old suspect both reside at 136 Exeter Place, where we did execute the search warrant. During the course of that search warrant, we were able to find 3 additional weapons, 2 handguns, and a long rifle, an AR-15 type rifle that was found there. Let me back up just a bit, though. On Saturday, we were also advised that in Macy's, one of the other stores where the suspect that was caught and arrested, there was a handgun found inside of Macy's on Saturday that we were not able to find on Friday. So that weapon is now in our custody. So at this point, we have one suspect, that 14-year-old male that was arrested on Friday, and a weapon was recovered from that car. And then a second weapon was recovered on Saturday. We believe that the 14-year-old that was arrested on Friday may have discarded the weapon that was found on Saturday. So it is possible that additional charges will be placed upon that 14-year-old that was placed under arrest. As to the other 14-year-old, although we arrested the 48-year-old other suspect, Mike Fuentes, we at this point are still looking for the 14-year-old suspect that remains at large. Although we cannot release his identity, we can say that Mike Fuentes is believed to be a parent of this 14-year-old suspect. So if anybody knows, has any information on where this 14-year-old suspect may be, he was the one that we showed pictures of on Friday, that's seen wearing all black with some white lettering on his shirt and running into Ingram Park Mall. We are still looking for that 14-year-old suspect. At this point, we do still consider that 14-year-old suspect armed and dangerous. And so we are also asking anybody that has information on where he might be to please not confront him. Don't make any attempt to take him into custody. just call us at 210-335-6000 and let us know so we can come make the arrest. But he is a wanted person right now. He does have felony charges that we're looking for him on. Any questions regarding that case before I do a Spanish soundbite on it? Okay. Esta tarde nosotros damos más información tocante un arresto y un caso que estamos trabajando desde el viernes. El viernes por la tarde nosotros recibimos una llamada al 12010 Old Onyx, cerca de Grossenbacher Road y Potranco, por un reporte de alguien que estaba disparando un arma. Nosotros, uno de nuestros oficiales se encontró con el carro, que él pensaba que eran los dos sospechosos. El carro huyó a velocidad alta y el oficial logró perseguir ese carro. Ese carro llegó hasta el Ingram Park Mall, donde dos sospechosos huyeron a pie del carro. Los dos corrieron dentro del mall, donde uno fue pescado en una tienda. Este sospechoso que lo pescamos tiene 14 años de edad y él fue arrestado. Ellos estaban en un carro robado y un arma, una pistola fue encontrada dentro de ese carro. Ya el sábado nos dimos cuenta que ese sospechoso, el de 14 años que ya habíamos arrestado, se aparenta que él tiró una arma dentro de una tienda y nosotros logramos encontrar, un empleado de la tienda nos llamó que se habían encontrado esa pistola dentro de esa tienda el sábado. Nosotros descubrimos video donde se ve claramente el sospechoso de 14 años aventando esa pistola, escondiéndola. Entonces él se va a enfrentar con otros cargos. En ese día, en viernes, nos dimos cuenta de otro sospechoso que ahora sabemos que tiene 14 años de edad también. Él iba manejando el carro robado. Él huyó a otro negocio y por lo que nosotros sabemos que el sospechoso de 14 años de edad, que no podemos dar el nombre porque es menor de edad, él fue a ese otro negocio, le habló a otro sospechoso, Mike Fuentes, 48 años de edad, que él se aparenta que es el padre del sospechoso de 14 años. Mike Fuentes se ve en video yendo para el otro negocio, dándole una camiseta para que se cambiara el sospechoso de 14 años y se supone por ayudarle a escapar porque sabían que las autoridades lo estaban buscando. Ellos se fueron de ese otro negocio y con eso Mike Fuentes, 48 años de edad, le ayudó a este sospechoso de 14 años a escaparse de las autoridades. Ya dándonos cuenta quiénes eran, nosotros aplicamos por órdenes por arresto para los dos sospechosos. Esta tarde Mike Fuentes fue arrestado por el cargo de ayudar al otro sospechoso que se escapara. Nosotros ejecutamos una orden de reviso en un apartamento donde viven los dos sospechosos en 133 Exeter Place, que está cerca de Grossenbacher Road, esa área donde los disparos estaban pasando. Encontramos dinero en efectivo, nos encontramos con varios chalecos antibalísticos y también 3 armas, 2 pistolas y un rifle estilo AR-15 que nos encontramos ahí en el apartamento. Ahora Mike Fuentes se va a enfrentar con varios cargos, ya fue arrestado, pero todavía se busca el joven de 14 años de edad que todavía lo estamos buscando. Tiene órdenes por su arresto y aunque no podemos dar el nombre, sí lo consideramos persona armada y peligrosa. Entonces les pedimos al público que si tienen información tocante dónde pueda estar el sospechoso, que nos hablen al 210-335-6000. Pueden ser anónimos y preferimos que nadie se le intente de arrestar al sospechoso de 14 años de edad. Es una persona peligrosa y nosotros preferimos que nuestros oficiales lo arresten. Nomás solamente queremos saber dónde está. El sospechoso de 14 años de edad es el mismo sospechoso que le enseñamos las fotos en viernes, unas fotos donde estaba corriendo esa tarde. Todavía se busca y quisiéramos información tocante dónde pueda estar.